How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Conti and Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The first time they go offense, they take Jordan Love? They take Jordan Love!
Listen, Matisse Thybulle will lock up
Matisse
CP3.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul, baby. Right, Will?
Nope, I totally disagree. Let's look. Oh god, did you guys not even hear the intro? I don't think they did. Alright, let's run that back. How's it going, everyone? Welcome to Conti and Nick. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. The first time they go offense, they take Jordan Love? They take Jordan Love!
Listen, Matisse Thybulle will lock up
Matisse
CP3.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul.
Oh my god.
Chris Paul, baby. Right, Will?
Nope, I totally disagree. Let's look. And now, welcome back to Conti and Nick.
Did they hear it now, Will?
They did hear it now. I'm Will Nicholson, as always. I have with me Gino Conti. And we're back, a different day, still at Bridgewater.
It is a weird feeling being here on a Thursday. I walk in, I always text Will I'm here, he'll come down and grab me, we'll go up to the room, and I always go, Will, and I'm like, Will, not only am I here on Thursday, which is really weird, I'm here at 5 o'clock. Or
Yeah,
we're doing
people
a show
were
at
actually
5:30,
like
which is
walking to
weird.
class and stuff.
I know, I see people like walking, I'm like, oh man, like this is just not what I'm used to. But anyways, we're here, we are standing on our mountain of omnipotence.
Yep.
Okay. So, we're such a great podcast, that's why I use such great vocabulary.
Look at us.
Voluptuous vocabulary.
I don't think that's what that word means.
What?
Voluptuous?
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous.
Voluptuous vocabulary.
I see. I don't even know what that word means.
I don't know what voluptuous means either.
It's like I don't think it means that.
Yeah.
Anyway,
The devastation of such exquisite sophistication, my friend.
God, you ever have that one kid in English class in high school who he said so much without saying anything? Like he just used big words, but he never actually made a point.
What makes a square a square? Well, you see, it's a very complicated process, okay? First, you gotta take the ruler, okay, and you gotta measure, and you gotta think to yourself, what is a square? Okay? It is open to a wide array of interpretation. Shut the fuck up.
It was bad. We would be talking about like an English book, like 1984 or something.
Yeah.
And it was literally the meme sound from TikTok. It's like, oh, and absolutely. And to piggyback off what you said, I think there's a certain duality. And it's, oh my god. Yeah. It's so bad.
I don't care that you broke your elbow, Will.
Also an all-time great.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but as you can see, we got some stuff to talk about today. So Gino, where do you want to kick it off?
I definitely want to think we can start at this Bill Belichick.
Okay.
Because this is something that I've been thinking about for a little bit. So, I mean, if you haven't heard, this quote came out on March 29th by Robert Kraft, and obviously Robert Kraft will always speak well and always speak at maybe charity events or whatever, or like give his condolences, say if something tragic has happened or if something great has happened. He shows his support or whatever it may be, but very rarely, I'd say, he'll talk about the state of the team. You know, you don't really hear it that often, so that way, you know that when he does talk about the state of the team itself, you know it's important, and you know to shut up and listen. Okay, and Robert Kraft, I have the quote right here. I'm a Patriots fan. Like I said, this happened on March 29th. I'm a Patriot fan, big time first. And more than anything, it bothers me that we haven't been able to win a playoff game in the last 3 years. Now, very, very rarely, I mean, I can't think of anything similar really to this level of criticism, I'd say, of the team from Kraft himself. So, I mean, realistically, Will, I mean, what do you kind of think about this? Like, how does this...
I pulled up the quote right here for everyone.
Oh, there you go. So,
we're making advancements on this podcast.
Indeed we are.
Every now and then we have to.
Little by little.
So, I mean, this is a wild thing. First of all, for not just anyone in the Patriots organization to say, but for Robert Kraft in general. But, I mean, this is how New England Patriots fans think. We're winners, we're win now. It's not a pretty destination to sign with, but you have the best coach ever, and you have a system that's going to win. If you come to New England, chances are you're going to win. It's simple. Anyone who's come here has pretty much won. And for us to go with, a playoff drought, quote unquote, which 3 years, I mean, if you're Robert Kraft, you've built this empire on, okay, we're a winning culture. That's what we are. That's what the New England Patriots are. I mean, this is his mindset, right? We're not winning playoff games. I think this is why, we always talk about Robert Kraft as a businessman, and he wanted Tom Brady because he was marketable. But I think he genuinely thought that maybe looking back at this, Tom Brady had the best shot to win for him. And it looks like Robert Kraft, he's about, okay, New England, we sell tickets by winning. We need to win football games. It's not a pretty location. We do have the glory of having like 6 states or whatever being New England, but
it being like the whole New England area rather
still,
than just Boston.
It's a Northeast team, so I mean, it's crazy for him to say this, but I understand it because this is how the New England Patriots have been run. It's how they're gonna continue to be run, and it makes sense for him to. But I didn't think he was gonna say this, right? Because like you said, Kraft rarely talks about stuff on the team. Like he'll just be like, "Oh, we're
all Patriots.
We're all Patriots. Bill's gonna do his job, and I'm gonna do mine." Come out and said, "This is pretty much." He said, "This is unacceptable." Right?
Yeah. So
this is unacceptable.
And again, so I was pretty shocked, genuinely, when I heard this because again, Bill Belichick is the day-to-day operations guy. But I mean, I think we know when it comes down to like the very big franchise-altering moves, that is when Kraft comes in and makes his own play. Because
absolutely,
remember Bill, and obviously we all know the story. Bill in 2014 was going to let Jimmy G take the keys, okay, and he was going to trade Brady and explore elsewhere, and Kraft vetoed it. Yep. Or Brady went behind Belichick's back, went to Kraft, and then Kraft obviously had the final say because it's Tom Brady, and he vetoed it. We all know that story, okay? But again.
Which is weird because we don't really all know that story. We still know very little about that whole thing, which I think is crazy.
We all know
from what we know.
Yeah, we all know what we've heard.
Yes,
we all know
exactly.
what we've heard about the story. Okay, so I mean, and other than that, Robert Kraft, I remember he said when Tom Brady left, okay, he said if Tom Brady wanted to stay here, we would have found a way. Which means Bill Belichick, I mean, he was involved, okay, but he was involved in wanting Brady out.
Yes.
He wasn't involved in wanting Brady to stay. So to me, it goes Robert Kraft in the terms of just like agreeing to an extension with Brady, even though it didn't happen. Obviously, he went to Tampa. Robert Kraft was the only one really there negotiating.
Yeah.
So again, when it comes to the big time moves, Robert Kraft is the be all end all. Okay, but when it comes to signing your Kendrick Bourne, like I'm not no Bourne's in a scrub, okay.
Yes.
But when it comes
to those types of players,
when
it's
it comes
Bill
to
Belichick.
Kendrick Bourne, Devontae Parker. Like,
but when it comes to who's the quarterback we want to draft.
It's
Robert Kraft was in that draft room, if you remember.
Yes.
And he was the second person on the
screaming.
phone. Ah! Yeah. But did you ever see the inside, the behind the scenes, which rarely happens, the Patriots do, by the way, in the draft room? It's Bill Belichick, and he says, "Are we all okay with this?" And he's standing with Robert Kraft. And
I remember, yeah.
Everyone agrees. It's Bill Belichick going, "Hey, Mac, welcome to the team." And then it's Robert Kraft saying, we loved you from the beginning, blah, blah, blah. So when that stuff happens, yes, Robert Kraft is absolutely involved.
Yes, and so the thing is, too, like, when I see this, to me, this is there's no other way to put it, in my opinion. This is a shot at Bill Belichick. And I think it's a mistake by Robert Kraft.
See, I don't think I see this as a shot, though. I think I see this as trying to maybe get fans. I don't know, because when he says this, we got to think about what we've been seeing. Judon's been recruiting like crazy. I don't know if you've seen this on Twitter. He's been
recruiting his ass off.
Oh yeah, he's been doing a great job. They got to start paying him overtime.
Yeah, seriously.
He's going crazy. A couple of days ago in Tampa actually, Mac and Kendrick Bourne and J.J. Taylor, I believe, all went and got some work in, and were throwing the ball around. And Skip Bayless had a very bad take on that I disagree with.
What did he say?
He said that Mac Jones is saying he's coming for Tom Brady because he did it in Tampa, and it's what
I would.
It's what big time networks.
I don't think it's that deep, but anyway,
it's what big time networks do.
Yeah, I mean, they have to draw ratings.
In reality, I think Mac just wanted to go to Florida, and also it was at Kendrick Bourne's high school. It's stupid. But still, you see things like this where, okay, guys are putting in the work. They just got Devontae Parker, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Devontae Parker from Miami.
So, yeah, you got all these pieces, and it's the Patriots being like, okay, we are going in. And we were saying they need a number one receiver, and now I'm almost certain this is what the Patriots do if they leave their draft picks for their last need all the time. Wide receiver is no longer the first need. You have Devontae Parker, who's a little bit more explosive. So now, in my opinion, they probably go edge in the draft, I think, for one of the guys who falls. Corner. They could go corner, but I think a lot of the good corners go early. like Sauce Gardner,
who I think is. I think Sauce is the second best player in the draft.
I could argue him being the first too.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
It is.
He's ridiculous.
I agree. There is an argument to be
if
made.
Hutchinson wasn't such a beast, then yeah. I mean, that dude. First of all, Hutchinson's like work ethic is crazy. I can't wait till we actually start getting
our
into
mock draft.
I've made my 1.0. I'm not going to release it because it's super rough. And I had Jamison Williams going to the Pats. So now we know that's probably not going to happen. Always a homer. Always a homer.
So I see this personally as a shot from Bill Belichick.
Yeah.
As a shot to Bill Belichick from Robert Kraft. So when I look at this, obviously Robert Kraft, you don't really say much, like we covered already, in terms of criticizing the team or like the state of the team. It's usually just we're all Patriots, do your job, you know. To me, when he has something to say, damn man, like it's serious. And I don't think Robert Kraft, obviously he realizes, but I don't really think he truly understands when I see this, when he says this, that we went to the playoffs with a rookie quarterback.
Yeah.
And obviously we got blown out, and it wasn't a competitive game by any means. But Mac Jones more than held his own. He was a Pro Bowler in his rookie season. Okay, and that was with us limiting the playbook with him.
Absolutely.
Okay, we didn't really see too much of him cranking it down the field. So obviously the playbook was limited, and it's going to be interesting to see this year how the offense is run when we don't have McDaniels.
This year's going to be interesting. You know what's going to be really interesting?
What?
Next offseason when we have $100 million in cap.
Yeah.
And we're probably going to have a decently successful year. I mean, that's going to be... And then you have, I think, Jonnu Smith contract is up next year, right? This is last year?
So no, we gave
2 years?
We gave Jonnu and Hunter Henry 4-year deals.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
We gave someone a 3-year deal, right? Was that Kendrick Bourne?
We gave... yes, you gave Kendrick Bourne a 3-year deal. Yeah, 3-year deal for Kendrick.
So he'll get extended.
We gave Jalen Mills a 4-year deal, and then we gave Judon a 5-year, I believe. It was a 4 or 5-year. Yep. So those were big. We gave we gave Godshaw a 2-year deal too.
Okay.
And he's pretty.
He's been great.
Yeah, he's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So, anyways, I mean, this may be a bit of a hot take, but I think Bill Belichick, according to Robert Kraft, is on the hot seat.
I don't. I don't think you can't put the best coach of all time on the hot seat, especially when the relationship between Kraft and Belichick. I mean, it was obvious. Kraft did end up choosing Belichick in the end, right? If he wanted Tom Brady to stay, he would have got rid of Belichick. I mean, plain and simple.
I know. I understand, but I mean, I don't know, man. I just think that
I will say the playoff loss was embarrassing. Of
course, it was embarrassing.
It was awful to see. Okay, yet this offense has no explosion. We didn't have any way to stop Josh Allen, and he just tore us apart. They scored. Did they not score every time they touched the ball?
I think pretty damn close.
It was pretty close to that. It was 47-7 or 40-something to 17.
Yeah, 47-17.
It was something ridiculous like that. So it's an embarrassing loss, and I mean, if you're the owner, I mean, I don't think this is a shot, because if he had said anything else, we would have been having a different conversation. But this is the market. This is why I talk about the market and the businessman that Kraft is. He knows his audience. He knows the Northeast, the New Englanders are mostly, the blue collar, hardworking guys, and it results in our football team. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Where you see that with a lot of cities. Chicago, back in the day, they had, the Bulls, and they had those Bears teams in the 80s that were really good. It reflects. Right now, you have, these New England fans, and that's what we like. It's do your job, hard work, get done. How many times I'm walking through my school, and they've talked about, like the Patriots, we need to do our job.
Oh, I get so sick of it.
It's awful. But still, that's the audience. So for Robert Kraft to come out here and say, this is unacceptable, our whole, without saying it, he said our whole brand, our whole market is to work hard, and we got blown out in a playoff game by, granted they were a good team, but it wasn't even a close game. It's not like, if this play went this way. It was over by really the end of the first quarter. Yeah, it was bad. So I take this as less at a shot at Belichick and more of, okay, Kraft knows his audience. He knows what people want to hear, because it's how we feel. We feel that this playoff loss was unacceptable. He said, hey, this is unacceptable. We need to start winning playoff games. I don't think Kraft doesn't seem like the type of guy to me who takes a shot at Belichick at the media like this without, you know what I mean, where he's trying to get out.
Well, I think that we're able to say that because it's just never really happened. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I'm not saying like, oh, you're using it. I'm just saying, like, I don't, like I said, we don't have any previous experience or prior experience with these type of comments from Kraft, like to base any evidence off of. You know what I mean? So like the way I interpret this is like, dude, Kraft is pretty much saying, listen, we haven't won shit, like really shit in 3 years. It's not about getting to the dance. It's actually about being able to perform when you get to the dance, you know?
Exactly.
And to me, that's a shot at coaching. That is a shot at coaching. And listen, you have to understand, in my opinion, Bill Belichick, the year we had Cam Newton, deserved to win Coach of the Year.
Man,
I think Bill Belichick
should have been more in the argument than he was.
I think Bill Belichick, and Big Jake agrees with me, we've talked about this. That was one of his, if not his, best coaching job to date in his career.
That team was horrible.
Winning 7 games. I love him. He's one of my favorite players ever.
Not
with
the same.
An awful Cam Newton.
I'll back you up on that. I love Cam Newton. I defended him every chance I got. I said he should have started at the beginning of this year. You know, but when reality check, it's he wasn't very good. You know, in this system, you know, at his age, he probably doesn't even deserve to be a starter anymore at this point.
Absolutely not.
I don't think so. So
absolutely not.
It's I agree with you. That was one of his best coaching jobs, but still, I don't see this as a shot. Maybe it's a little bit of a bell ring. You know what I mean? Like, hey, Bill, our fans need winning football. Bong,
well, I don't think Bill,
and have that carry out.
Bill doesn't even deserve that though. Like, why does Bill like deserve any criticism at all?
Well, I mean, he's not immune to being critiqued.
I'm not saying he's not immune to being critiqued, but at the same time, nothing in the past 2 years has shown me that he deserves any sort of like legitimate criticism. Maybe other than nitpicking, like, I would have ran it there, or I would have passed it there. You know, or even though that's even McDaniel's thing. Or it's like, I would have given Jalen Mills $1 less $1 million. I would have given him 23 instead of 24.
If it's coaching, then you can also argue maybe it was a bigger shot at McDaniel's for keeping the playbook so tight on Mac.
Well, McDaniel's is gone, so there's no point in him really saying that.
I guess, yeah.
So,
see, I will say the coaching, we're gonna see, I think, Bill Belichick's future in this year, because there is no offensive coordinator and there's no defensive coordinator. It's just Bill and his assistants. Yeah. Which I don't think we've ever seen this before, no?
Not as far as I know. Maybe in the very olden days, like legitimately like the 1920s. Like I know you laugh at me, but like I legitimately don't.
I mean from the Patriots. This has never happened with the Patriots.
I thought you meant like ever in history.
Yeah, is this a pretty rare thing? I don't really know about that. Where there's no DC or OC. I've never
seen a team where there's no coordinator.
Yeah,
like I've never seen a team where there's no DC.
They're just specialists. That's it.
There's nothing. Yeah. There's nothing, and like Joe Judge isn't even back to being the special teams coordinator. Like I don't know if we do have a special teams coordinator, right?
What is Joe Judge doing again?
He's a quarterback coach.
Great! I can't wait for him to tell Mac to sneak the ball on
3rd and 7 or whatever.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but I mean, so just real quickly, I mean, this is just the worst thing in my opinion. If Bill Belichick is on the hot seat, or if this is just a shot at Bill Belichick telling him to try to get his shit together, this is the worst thing for Mac Jones. Okay, and then realistic, because first of all, having a coaching change within your first 2-3 years, awful. Yeah. Okay, especially for a guy who's just learning the ropes of the league. And then, dude, you're telling me if you get rid of Bill Belichick, who the hell are you gonna bring in that's better?
Probably no one. I mean, you've been saying Gerard Mayo.
Well, I'm saying that Gerard Mayo, I believe, is gonna be the person who takes over the Patriots when Belichick decides. But I'm not. By no means am I advocating that
right now.
Yeah, that Bill Belichick should be replaced, by Gerard Mayo. But I mean, if Robert Kraft is taking a shot here, and if Robert Kraft is really, really thinking of getting rid of Bill Belichick, I question Robert Kraft's logic, and I question his smarts. Because
I will say if he is trying to take a shot at Belichick, yeah, that's probably a bad move. He's still probably the best coach in the league. He gets the most out of his guys. I mean, he took a rookie quarterback to the playoffs
and won 7 games with Cam Newton.
Quarterbacks are lucky to have a winning record, a positive record, and he takes them to the Pro Bowl. Like, come on!
Well,
and he limited the playbook.
Look at the other rookie quarterbacks from this draft.
To be fair, they had awful situations.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna go there, right? But for now, I'm not gonna go there because they're in awful situations. So I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. And we talked about, I think the Jets have a good year. And people are saying it's possible for the Jags to win the NFC South. I'm just saying.
Jacksonville?
Yeah. I've heard it. I know.
Matt, well, the Colts are going to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So no,
Okay,
the
Gino.
Colts are going to the Super Bowl. You can, but hey, listen, after last year, I have no reason to be doubted.
That's fair. That is, I will give you that. 100%.
And first of all, out of 15 people, excuse me, I believe I created the best bracket out of the Nicholson
here we
friends
go.
and family.
Yep. Yeah, we'll tell our rules. For people who don't know, every year I do a Nicholson bracket where I invite just like an absolute swarm of people to do a March Madness bracket. Like my grandparents do it. My uncle, who knows nothing about basketball, does it. And my dad won it last year, and he didn't stop talking, and he's got bragging rights. And that's kind of the glory of it, you know. You get to keep talking. And Gino picked Kansas to win, so he won the bracket this year. So Gino, how does it feel to be the champion of?
Los tíos o los padres.
Oh man.
Well, you know, I said it off the jump, but
Yeah,
first
you
and
did.
foremost, I just like to thank God. I just like to thank my Lord and Savior
I like
Jesus Christ.
I like to thank God. Thank you to my mama for getting me here.
Mama, we're waking up early.
Go look up the Migos national anthem, by the way.
That was
If you
a
have the
gem of a
time.
video, and I'm so glad you sent that to me.
It's amazing. Should we move on to the Lakers?
We should move on to the Lakers.
All right. So the Lakers, as we saw yesterday, was it last night? My days are messed
2
up.
days ago.
2 days ago, where they got eliminated from playoff contention. And you know the Pelicans took their spot in the play-in, which me and Gino have been very adamant already. We rarely agree on something as adamantly as we do. That the play-in should not be in the league anymore. It's for revenue. I think it's stupid. We've talked about it. Are the games
Promotes
entertaining?
mediocrity.
Yeah, sure. Are the games entertaining? Sometimes. Am I going to watch them? Yes. So congrats NBA, you won, I guess, but it should be taken out of the league. Anyway, the Lakers missed the play-in. And man, I mean, you see it on the screen, the Los Angeles Fakers. I mean, this team was awful. Awful, awful, awful. And you know, I come out, I say when I'm wrong. I was absolutely wrong about this Lakers team. I will say partially it's because Anthony Davis missed way too much time and didn't live up to the expectations to be an MVP candidate. We've talked about all this before. But Gino, I mean, what is there even to say about the Lakers?
So, like I said, we have dedicated the whole episode, but I think now that it has
It's
actually
official.
happened,
Yes.
like we do have to dedicate like a small little
And we're
segment.
Celtics fans, so
Yes,
we're
we
deserve this.
This is an extra
You
glorious
know how
feeling.
hard 13 and 14 was for us.
Absolutely.
We're thriving in this.
We are, my friend. Yes, sir. But anyways, I just look at this and my knee-jerk reaction. I mean, you guys saw the post about it last night. Okay. Frank Vogel has received way too much blame and criticism, and Will Nicholson.
I'll agree with you there.
Will Nicholson was sly and said, "Oh, you're a LeBron hater." Not once in my post did I say the name LeBron James. Not once did I say LeBron James.
But you are still a LeBron hater.
I am a LeBron hater, and I am a proud LeBron hater. Okay, and first of all,
That's fair. At least he admits it.
yeah, so I look at this Lakers roster and how it was constructed. Listen, like, I don't know if you remember, I said that I do not think, like, my take before the season began, I don't think LeBron and Russ will be able to coexist. Okay, and I did not think it would hamper them this much. Okay, I didn't think...
No one did, honestly. We knew Russ was going to be bad, but...
Yeah, I mean, I didn't think altogether they were going to miss the play-in.
Yeah.
Like, you literally have a chance to not technically make the playoffs, or if we're talking old rules, and they didn't even make that. How? I mean, like, I blame LeBron James. I do. I'm serious. I blame LeBron James, and I've been over this before. LeBron James, and everyone who says Le GM, it's absolutely right.
It is.
It's absolutely right. LeBron James, yes, Rob Pelinka signs his name on the dotted line and says, yes, I approve of this signing. But who the hell does that team go through to get that roster?
I will say
it's
this is
LeBron.
bad. It's bad. It's a bad look. This is the downside of when you have, first of all, it's LeBron James, in my opinion. He should have as much pull as he does. It's worked before. It worked in Miami. It worked in Cleveland for that 1 year. It works, but this is the downside and kind of the ugly side of having players play who they think they want to play with. That came out weird, but you know what I mean.
No, I know what you mean. Like, have a player construct what they think is going to work in their head, but it doesn't translate onto the court.
This is the ugly side of it. I don't know if you saw the reports that it was between DeMar DeRozan and Westbrook.
Well, yeah.
Have you seen that?
Yes, I have.
That's bad.
And then we'll keep on mentioning it. They had Buddy Hield, and then the trade just canceled.
Yeah.
The trade got vetoed.
Yeah.
If they had had Buddy Hield instead of Russell Westbrook, this team would have been a whole hell of a lot better.
If you don't know what we're talking about, by the way, Magic Johnson it's not First Take, but it was on ESPN. Magic Johnson ratted, like completely ratted.
Good.
If you listen to that whole thing. No, yeah, good, but he says everything. Apparently, the GMs were in talk. DeMar's GM and Pelinka were in talks.
Yeah.
And then the trade gets canceled. And then, because LeBron started talking to Westbrook, I believe.
Yeah.
So that's GMs getting cut off for a player connection, and that's the ugly side of this, man.
Absolutely. So just I don't understand how everyone, and I've made this point before, but I'm going to emphasize it again because I can't make this more clear and I can't make a big enough emphasis on this. How does LeBron James get labeled as this basketball savant and genius, okay, and gets trust to be able to construct his own roster?
He's the second best player of all time.
Listen, I understand, but sure. How is he? Like, I'm never gonna take away credit, or not gonna give credit to his talent. And I've never ever said he's not a talented player.
Sure.
Because he is tremendously and immensely talented. How do we label him as a basketball genius when he knows that Russell Westbrook is a ball-dominant guard who takes the ball up the court, takes up 20 seconds of the shot clock, and LeBron James does the same thing? How?
I don't know. I think in LeBron's mind, he thought that this was going to work.
Well, then 2 years previously,
sure.
He was also with James Harden, who does the exact same thing, and it didn't work also. Like they said, we're still boys, but we just don't coexist on the floor. LeBron James and James Harden, in terms of strictly ball dominance, are the same player. Strictly ball dominance, not style of play. Strictly ball dominance. How does LeBron look at that and say, "Well, this is going to work with me"?
Here's the only way that I can. There's one of two things. Either, this first one, I don't really think, because I do think LeBron is a smart basketball guy, and I don't think that he would be this oblivious. I don't think that he just thought, oh, I want to play with Westbrook because he won an MVP. Let's get him on the floor. Which that's the other option, or one option. The other one I think that LeBron could have thought of is, okay, I'm going to play off ball. He said a bunch of times in his career, or towards the end of his career, he's ready to play off ball. He liked playing with Kyrie Irving. He didn't mind playing with Lonzo Ball for the year that he played with them.
Really got him traded.
Sure. But he doesn't mind playing off ball. He didn't mind doing it with D Wade, even though LeBron did have the ball in his hands for a lot of that. But still,
D Wade propelled him to them.
The argument for another day.
D Wade said, "You are the man." D Wade says, "I have
Dwayne Wade's got to be up there with one of the best teammates of all time."
Absolutely.
I'll argue D Wade.
I love Dwayne. He's your favorite player of all time.
He is. He is my favorite player of all time.
Yeah.
And that shifted for me because there's other guys who I really, really like. But he, I think, is one of the best teammates of all time. I will say,
D-Wade, yeah.
I'm a big fan of D Wade. But still, LeBron, I think, thought, okay, I'm going to play off ball. Right? He was like, I'm going to play off ball. And Westbrook is going to come and he's going to put up his numbers. Fine, sure. And I don't think LeBron expected Anthony Davis to be as injury prone as he was. Because AD was not on the floor, and when he was on the floor, he wasn't super impactful.
Well,
he wasn't that great.
He was just hobbled, man.
Sure, yeah, fair, absolutely. Yeah. But still, so when we're talking about who has the most criticism to go, I'd argue it's Anthony Davis. Do we think that Anthony Davis didn't have a say in this? I think he absolutely. If AD was like, oh, maybe Westbrook won't work. Anthony Davis was supposed to take over this team. This is what we saw from the trade way back when they traded, 4 first rounders, something ridiculous.
And then Ingram and Hart and Lonzo.
He is supposed to be the future. This is what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Kareem and Magic 2.0, where, okay, LeBron is, Kareem, quote unquote. He's going to take over, and then as things go, Anthony Davis should be hitting his prime. He should be in his prime right now. And he can't stay on the floor, and when he's on the floor, he hasn't been. He's good. He's a good basketball player. He's in the NBA, of course. He's up there, but he hasn't been that MVP level. It looks like the Pelicans absolutely stole this trade, by the way.
Well, I
not even
wouldn't
close.
say that.
I will say, okay, a ring
Lakers won.
worth. A ring is obviously worth.
So,
but I mean, before they got out of it, like Anthony Davis isn't looking too good. I don't know, man.
So I don't put any of the blame on Anthony Davis because if you just get injured, you can't control that.
Sure.
You know, like you can't control the fact that you get injured. And second
It would still, in theory, make it a bad trade, though. They have no future.
I understand.
They have none.
Well, I mean, when you have a 37-year-old LeBron James, you're not really looking to build towards the future. You're looking to win now.
Sure.
You know, so, I mean, I look at it and I'm like, all right, yes, Anthony Davis is a liability, and I understand that is something that obviously hinders the team and it's a big reason or a big liability for them. But I don't think he deserves blame, per se. Do you know what I mean? So I do blame LeBron because he's using Vogel as a scapegoat. How do you look at a team right now? It's common sense. How logical is it to look at a team filled with veterans? Like you said, like the LA 401kers. Like the Los Angeles
401k.
Yeah, like
the LA retirement home.
Yeah, LA retirement home. How do you look at a team that has Carmelo Anthony, Trevor Ariza, DeAndre Jordan at a time, Rajon Rondo at a time, Wayne Ellington, okay, like all these old hats, okay, and Dwight Howard, all these old guys. How do you look at a team that has guys who take nights off on defense, guys who don't really give their full effort to like for only the high stakes games or the playoffs or whatever it may be, and you think that a team like that with a defensive minded coach is going to perform well? It's not a mesh. This was done on purpose. This was done on purpose to make Vogel look worse than he is. I'm not saying Vogel is...
He's not a good coach.
I'm not saying Vogel is this elite NBA, like, oh my god, greatest coach. I'm not. But Frank Vogel isn't a scrub, okay? He is a champion. He is a champion head coach. And when he actually had young enough guys to prove it, obviously it's not like he had the fountain of youth on his team, but when he had enough young guys to pair with a LeBron and a healthy AD, he proved that his style of defensive play, along with that roster personnel, can win a championship.
Yeah.
When you give Vogel, a defensive-minded coach, a roster with all these old guys who don't really care about defense, like I said, until the high-leverage moments / games, it's not going to mesh well.
Yeah. I agree with you completely. This LA team was a blunder on all levels. It was LeBron and management, frankly, for thinking, oh yeah, this is gonna work. Also, shout out to Jeannie Buss and the whole Lakers organization and Magic Johnson specifically, that are like, hey, we are the Lakers. We are not the Cleveland Cavaliers. LeBron can't just say, oh, this is a management thing, right? This was LeBron. We could have had DeMar. We could have had Buddy Hield. LeBron wanted Westbrook. This is the product. So shout out to the Lakers organization because they know we are a winning franchise. Always have been. Always will be. And it's not because of LeBron. It's because who we are. I fully agree with that. But to throw all of it on LeBron, I mean, he deserves blame 100%. But I think everyone's got to take a little slice of the blame pie here.
All right, I'll give Frank Vogel 5% blame.
I'd say a little more than that, Gino.
I'll give him 6% blame.
Okay. But yes, the Lakers, it was an absolute blunder. I mean, do we have anything else to say about? I mean, we've said our whole piece on this.
I mean, yeah, we've done the whole episode
at this point. Should we move to our play-in predictions and playoff first round predictions?
Yes, absolutely. And LeBron James sucks.
And you've heard it right from Gino Conti, so you know it must be true.
Absolutely.
I want to start in the East or the West?
West.
We'll start in the West. All right, Gino. So first of all, seeding could flip like 2 nights.
Yes. So none of these brackets are solid concrete, but
they're not even close.
Yeah, it's looking like what we see is kind of going to be close to what we get.
It's going to be roughly close. There could be some, probably not. The thing that I could see is maybe Brooklyn moves, but it doesn't really look like it. I don't think Brooklyn's going to avoid the play-in. I'm just going to check the...
I think they are locked into the play-in.
Oh, they are? Okay.
So I think the East actually is totally locked in, like in terms of the play-in.
They're pretty close. I think the Celtics can still make a push for the 1 seed.
Yeah.
I believe.
So, I mean, but let's just assume everything is as is right now.
Sure.
Okay,
sure.
So what do we got for the West?
So for the West, we have the 9 and the 10 seed. First of all, I love how we've become accustomed to this, by the way. Remember the first time we tried to predict the plan when we did Conti and Nick. I think this was literally like almost a year ago, right? It had to have been.
I mean,
and,
I think
and
our show's been
I
around almost a
was
year.
so confused.
Yeah.
I could not read the bracket.
Yeah. It was
So,
like, oh, what?
Yeah, I could not. Now I've become accustomed to it.
What?
So the 9 and the 10 seed will go and play the 8. We'll figure it out. 9 seed.
Look at this.
9 seed. It's hard to read.
I know,
9
I got
seed,
you.
the Pelicans, and the 10 seed Spurs.
So I got the Pelicans winning that one. I mean, I love the San Antonio Spurs with all my heart. I mean, the fact of the matter is they just haven't really shown anything at all to really prove that they would be able to make a playoff push. I mean, we'll see as the young players continue to develop if they can make a push in the incoming years, but this year, no.
I have the Pelicans winning. Like you said, I don't think the Spurs are necessarily. I think they kind of lucked out with the Lakers being as bad as they are.
Yeah.
But this team, I'm confused. I'm very confused. We might be seeing the kind of end of Pop's kind of grab that he's had on the league, and I don't think that style of not coaching per se, but the way he runs it, I don't think works in the modern NBA.
I think if he got premium talent, I think it would.
Sure, it's hard to get premium talent to come to San Antonio and play for that, type
That's
of
what I'm
system.
saying.
So it's hard. In the modern NBA, it's a hard thing to make work. So you have the Pelicans too, right?
We both have New Orleans.
So now we'll go down to the 7 and 8. I figured it out. I looked at it more. So the 7 and 8, we have the Timberwolves and the Clippers. Well, shout out to the Clippers for making it this far. I have the Timberwolves winning. I still don't think the Clippers. This is
I'm
just
surprised.
an extra.
I thought you were gonna say. The Clippers.
Nah, this is Kawhi's not back. Paul George is just barely back. It's not looking well. First of all, this year is a scratch for the Clippers.
Yeah,
we've talked about it. The wash. Kawhi was hurt. Paul George was hurt. I mean, and this shows how good of a supporting cast they have. They were able to make a push for the 8 seed, and they were the better team.
We've talked about it. They got Robert Covington and Norman Powell.
Yeah.
So when Kawhi comes back next year, not only is that going to be putting those guys back into their actual roles, but they'll take the blow or they'll take some of the heat off of
They're
Kawhi.
going to have one of the best benches in the league, I think, next year. It's going to be really good.
Benches, yes.
It's going to be really good. So I have the Timberwolves winning. Clippers aren't built for the moment. And the Timberwolves, they were good this year. They were a good team. They earned my respect. And Conti called it, I'll say that. You had them higher. Come on, you had them higher.
Did I have them higher?
Yeah, you had them at like the 5 seed.
Did I really?
Yeah, you had them pretty high.
Oh, did I? Okay. Well, that I'll admit I'm wrong about.
No, they were still a good team. I don't even think I had them this high.
I was totally wrong about my Kelvin Johnson most improved
player.
It
happens.
I don't know if Kuzma's gonna win it, but if
not.
If there was to be a winner of that take, you won that for sure. So who we got?
So you have Minnesota winning, right?
Yes, I have Minnesota.
I figured.
Yes.
Minnesota was one of your teams. I mean, this one's pretty easy. So from there, Minnesota will go and play Memphis, and then we go to the last play-in game on the East. So we will have the Pelicans versus the Clippers. Yep. And I'm going to take the Pelicans now. I think the Pelicans, I don't think they're going to make noise, but I think that they deserve to be one of the teams to make it out of the play-in. Again, I don't think the Clippers are built for that.
Wait, so can I see? Sorry.
Yes.
How would it be?
So,
see, I'm confused.
Yeah, dude, this tournament sucks.
Yeah, I hate this.
It's stupid.
I hate this.
No, so the 9 and the 10 seed play to advance to the second round of the plan. The winner of the 7 and the 8 plays the 2 seed, and the loser of the 7 and 8 plays the winner of the 9 and 10.
What the fuck?
I know, it's stupid.
Yeah, okay.
So, all of our picks are right so far. So we have Minnesota winning. Minnesota will move to the 7th seed, and they'll play Memphis. And now the Pelicans and the Clippers will play, and the winner of that plays the 8th seed.
Okay.
Stupid.
I have the Clippers
it's stupid,
winning.
right?
I have the Clippers winning.
All right, fair.
Okay, do you have New Orleans winning?
Doesn't matter. They're both going to lose. This tournament's fucking stupid, Gino.
I agree, but who do you have?
I have the Pelicans right now.
Do you? Okay.
Because apparently Zion's going to come back, and I think that could be an X factor, but I don't know.
Yeah, they made a mistake. They should have drafted Ja.
Oh, come on, Conti. When he's been on the floor, he's been amazing.
Ja's the better player.
Gino.
Ja's better than
They're
Zion.
both injury prone. Come on.
Ja is a little injury prone, but I mean, they literally, when you have to teach a player how to walk.
RJ Barrett should have gone first overall. He never gets injured.
You're right.
He never gets injured.
It is pathetic. I have totally soured on Zion Williamson. I mean, I wasn't that well, listen, he obviously had all the hype in the world, I didn't drink the Kool-Aid per se, but I was like, okay, like I gave him credit where credit was due. He performed well when on the floor.
And in Zion's defense, he is very good when he's on the floor.
I said that.
He scored more than Tatum last year when he was on the floor.
Yeah.
Dude's a beast.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just, the injury
He's a physical
is
specimen.
it's a problem.
But
The
again,
injury, the weight's a problem.
But again, it's absolutely pathetic that they literally had to teach him how to walk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zion, me and you, man, we're gonna hit our summer bods.
Yeah.
let's meet up in Vegas. We'll get it done.
This is what peak
Figure it
performance
out.
looks
And
like.
we are the peak male performance, Zion, the peak male body. So you have the Clippers.
I have the Clippers.
I have the Pelicans. I think the Pelicans are just a little bit better than the Clippers. But I think we can both agree that it's not going to matter who plays the Suns.
No.
So should we just keep going through the West here? Or do you
Yeah,
wanna switch
so
to these?
we're only going to do first round?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah, so
Yeah.
we'll just do first round. That's
Okay.
fine. So yeah, I mean Phoenix and then the Clippers. I have the Clippers. Will has the Pelicans. Boom.
Oh,
Phoenix
I thought you
win.
meant the Clippers were going to win. I was like,
No. So yeah, well, I mean, we both agree. Whoever Phoenix ends up facing, like whoever's right,
Doesn't
Phoenix is
matter.
winning.
It's a wash.
Phoenix is winning.
It doesn't.
Okay.
It's a wash.
It is.
So 4 and 5, a non-play-in. We have the Mavericks and the Jazz.
This is gonna be a good one.
I'm excited for
It's
this
gonna
one.
be a very good one, and you know what? I think Luka Doncic finally wins his first playoff series.
I agree.
I think
agree
Luka
with you.
finally does. I mean, I picked Utah to win the whole thing last year, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I picked Utah to win the whole thing last year, and you know what? By no means are they a bad team, but they are notorious lately for blowing lots of leads.
Yep.
I don't know if you've seen that, you
Yep.
know, and
It's been bad.
I mean, I don't
Have
know.
you seen all the flock that Rudy Gobert and Donovan? First of all, I've been saying this pairing isn't going to work forever. They shouldn't have made it out of the bubble. The bubble should have been the last time that Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell play together. Donovan Mitchell averages 2 passes a game.
I saw
To
that.
Gobert, not assists. Those are passes,
Yeah.
to his big
like,
man.
I give you ball.
Yes, literally. And Gobert is awful in the playoffs. He's horrendous. When the game slows down, and look, I give Ben Simmons the same criticism, so it goes all the way around for me. When the game slows down, if you can't perform, in my opinion, you're not a great NBA player. You can't, and that's why Rudy Gobert, while he is good in the regular season, he gets exposed in the playoffs. When the game slows down, you put him in a pick and pop or a pick and roll. He can't guard the perimeter. If you make him guard the perimeter, we see it every year. It's how Denver came back in the bubble. It's how they lost to who'd they lose to? The Clippers?
Denver?
No,
the Jazz?
The Jazz.
I think it was the Clippers.
It was the Clippers.
As the Clippers, the Lakers.
It's the same thing every single time. Rudy Gobert gets exposed. This team's done, in my opinion. They're done. They need to trade Gobert. Donovan Mitchell is about to be hitting his prime, or he's getting into the first couple of years
I
of
love
his
Donovan
prime.
Mitchell.
I'm a big fan of Donovan Mitchell. I think he's great. I think he could be, potentially an MVP candidate. He's got Quinn Snyder's a great coach, and they have good pieces around him. They just need to get. I think who I think Donovan Mitchell would play good with? A wing. I think he would play really well with a very, very good wing. So I don't know who that may be. They need to go out and find him. Maybe
Jay Crowder.
Okay, no. Yes.
Yes. I
But
mean, he already did play with
I
Jay
agree.
Crowder,
He
but-
did actually.
yeah.
So I
Get him
agree with
back.
you. I think the Mavs take over the series, and I think Luka goes crazy, and I would love to see that.
So what do you think about this? I know he's technically not a wing, and we talked about him a little bit earlier. What would you think about giving the Lakers Rudy Gobert, getting AD to pair him up with Donovan Mitchell? I'm serious. I'm serious.
No, it's never gonna happen. First of all, I don't
Obviously
think the
not straight up group Gobert for Davis,
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
but obviously whatever else you have to put in. But
I mean,
that'd be interesting.
Utah would have to give first round picks
yeah,
for AD. They would have to give first round picks.
I mean, but think about it. AD. I mean, it's a big if, but I mean, you get a healthy AD and Donovan Mitchell.
see,
That's scary.
In theory, yes, but AD. I hate to shit on AD so much. He's kind of a wimp, man.
Oh, he is.
He
is.
He's kind of a wimp. He likes the big LA market. There's times where AD doesn't look like he wants to play big. AD wishes he was 6'6" so he could be a guard.
Yeah, seriously.
I've said it a bunch of times. I'm not the biggest AD fan. He is a good player, but
I think when he's
he
at
holds
his
himself
best,
back.
he's phenomenal.
Yes, if AD, and it pisses me off, he should be playing center because he would be the perfect modern center. But I don't know why he doesn't. I don't know, and I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly,
In
though,
theory, it would be awesome.
I mean, just and it is a little off topic. I know we have the rest of the West and then the East. to
That's
do,
a great question.
But I do personally think, I mean, Lakers. I mean, his value, Anthony Davis, is at an all-time low.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're looking to get rid of Gobert, why not?
It could be.
Why not?
If
You
you're
know?
when you think about it too, if you're the Lakers, you need a future.
Yeah.
You need first round. The only reason they can't trade Westbrook, their first round picks are already
obviously
gone.
Rudy Gobert isn't the key to your future.
Yeah.
But I mean, what good is he to you if you can't stay on the floor?
Yeah.
I mean, his trade value is low. Get another defensive player of the year guy who at least stays healthy.
No one's dying to get Rudy Gobert either.
Yeah.
Like no one's like, oh, Rudy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think they'll do that to AD. But I mean, it makes sense. I'm not arguing it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly just thought about that in my head right now. But I mean, what else
There has to be some move. So we both have the Mavs winning that one. We have Golden State and Denver. I'm saying this right now because I want this to be on the record. Nobody in the NBA is beating a healthy Golden State Warriors team.
If they're healthy, you have them winning it all?
Yes. This was my take at the beginning of the season. I thought this team was going to be somewhat of a repeat of 2014, 2015. They have the rim roller. Kuminga's still been hurt. Wiseman, or was Kuminga hurt? I think he was for a little bit.
Yeah,
Wiseman has been down. I don't even think he's coming back.
He's not.
Okay, so he's not coming back.
He's not, yeah.
Okay, so still, this Warriors team, I think they make a run, and I think they have a shot at the title. I'll say that. If this team gets fully healthy for next year, and that's why I say I want it to be on the record now, nobody in the NBA is beating Clay, Steph, Wiggins, even though he's been good. He was an all-star. Kuminga and Wiseman. Starter. No one is beating that team. With Steve Kerr at the head coach and as deep of a bench, keep in mind, they're not really paying money right now because they have a bunch of rookies. They have Moses Moody coming off the bench still.
Who's pretty good.
Oh, yeah, he's been great. He was, the 10th pick, something like that? It's
around I think it was actually like 14th.
Yeah, so it was later in the lottery. I mean, he's looked great.
He's looked pretty damn good.
If this
good
team,
value pick.
If this team gets healthy, nobody is beating them, and I think they have a shot to win it all this year. It's possible. So I have
Golden. Think Phoenix would beat them?
Maybe Phoenix. That's what I'm saying. They have a shot. I think if you're the Warriors, you should be expecting, I think, a conference or a finals appearance. I think the Warriors are that good. So, especially Steph in the playoffs. So anyway, to sum my thing up, I have the Warriors beating Denver. I don't think Denver's complete.
So I personally think that it's going to be a very close 7-game matchup in the first round.
Could
both teams.
Jokic is a beast.
Yeah, both teams are going to come out of this absolutely exhausted. Okay, like it's going to be a tough second round for whoever makes it out. And I agree, it's going to be Golden State. But I don't agree with the whole take that if they're healthy, they're going to make the finals or they're going to win the championship.
It's out there.
I personally agree, or I personally believe that no one's going to beat Phoenix. Okay, like I can't see anyone really beat Phoenix this year. I have them personally winning it all. Yeah. But I mean, I do agree that this is going to be a neck and neck battle. But overall, the playoff experience from the Splash Brothers, the championship playoff experience from the Splash Brothers, will help them overcome Denver in this first round matchup. Yeah.
Forgot to mention Draymond Green in there too. Quality. Yeah, love Draymond.
I'm sure he'll get over it.
I don't know, man.
Swift kick to the balls,
and just like that. Yeah. So give me Golden State for that one. We have Memphis and we have Minnesota. Got an upset alert, Conti.
Really?
No.
You fooled me. You got me.
I think Memphis is first of all, they are a very good team. I think they're 20-2 without Ja. I mean, first of all, very, very well coached team. They've done great. Shout
out Taylor Jenkins, man.
Yeah, he's been great. So this whole team, very, very good. Ja's gonna come back. He's gonna be rested for the playoffs. Give me Memphis in like 5. I think they wipe this team. Yeah.
I disagree with that.
Okay.
I disagree with that. I think this is just like Golden State and Denver. It's going to be a hard fought battle. No team by Pat, not led by Pat Bev, but no team that has Pat Bev goes out without a fight.
That's fair. Even those Clippers teams when they were the 8th seed, when the Warriors played, Pat Bev was in there. He always is.
He always is.
He's going to be on Ja's
No team that has
I can't wait.
Yeah,
Minnesota needs to win that now because that series would actually be really good the more I think about it.
Yep, I agree.
That'd be good.
So we good with the West? Gonna move on to the East?
Yeah, we'll move to the West. Cool. And you guys will get the second round when the playoffs get closer.
No, we gotta do this goddamn playoff play-in thing again.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
I know it's the same thing.
You know, it was the same thing last year, and I still didn't get it.
That's why I'm dreading it.
All right, so let's look at the bracket because we have to. So the 9 seed Hawks and the 10 seed Hornets. So in this, I'm going to take the 9 seed Hawks. I still like Trae Young. They were a good seed last year.
I'm taking the Hornets. I think James Borrego has a really good young squad. I think that LaMelo Ball, I mean, obviously is not going to be somebody who makes huge amounts of noise in the playoffs this year, but I think he's going to get this signature win, if you want to call this a signature win in the play-in. Okay, I think
the Mickey Mouse playoffs.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, I agree. So I think he's going to get a win that shows it's not my time yet, but I'm coming. And I think this is going to be that moment for LaMelo. I think that the Hawks are hugely underwhelmed, especially after what they were able to do last season, and I think that they're just relaxed. I think they're a little too complacent, and clearly, or else they wouldn't be in the play-in.
Yes.
Okay, like there's no excuse for it. I actually have Charlotte winning.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, well, both these teams aren't very good. So.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're not going to talk about how awful the play-in is. These next two teams I really do like, though. So we have the Cavs, and
it's gonna be a bloodbath.
This is going to be a crazy game. I have, unfortunately, maybe not though, because I'm gonna love this next round matchup. And we're gonna talk about it when we get there. I have the Nets winning, and I have them being the 7th seed and taking on the Celtics versus the Cavs.
You have the Nets winning, you said?
I have the Nets winning.
Okay, yeah. I unfortunately do. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but this Cleveland team's gonna fight.
They will.
This Cleveland team is going to fight.
We've talked about it all year.
This is gonna be great. It's gonna sound weird, but this is gonna be like that March Madness, like that St. Peter's thing.
St. Peter's
thing. Where it's like, Kentucky, you dropped these. I'm putting both fingers up right now. Kentucky, you dropped these. Screw you. And unfortunately, they're not going to win, but they're going to show no fear.
Yep.
Please don't
Team's
get
got
me
a lot
wrong.
of cap next year, too.
They do. Cap.
So we both have the Nets. So the final game of the play-in, you have... God, right.
Charlotte versus Brooklyn.
Yeah, so you have Charlotte versus... Wait. No, you have Charlotte versus Cleveland. You have Cleveland beating the Nets?
No.
Okay.
I have Brooklyn winning. But
okay,
like I said, it's going to be a fight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, so the next round of the play-in, you have Cleveland versus Charlotte, and I have Cleveland versus Atlanta.
Okay.
I think, doesn't matter.
Wait, you said Brooklyn's going to win, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. See, here I am. I'm doing it again.
It's awful. So the last play-in is the loser of the 7 and 8 and the winner of the 9 and 10. So
explain it to me all you want. I'm still not going to understand it.
So I mean, I think we're both going to agree. It doesn't matter whatever team plays Cleveland in the second round of the play-in. I have Cleveland winning that. I think Cleveland's better than both of those teams.
Yes, I concur.
Okay, easy.
Yeah.
So Cleveland will then become the 8th seed, and they're going to take on the Heat. So I guess we'll just move right to that. This is going to be a good one. I think the Cavs, they fight hard, but I think the Heat are battle-tested. While they have been struggling, I think that the Heat make it out of this series. So I have the Heat.
Wait. I actually had... I have to talk about what I said. I had the Heat winning the whole thing.
You did.
At the beginning of the season.
You did.
I take back what I said about Phoenix. I'm sorry. I apologize. I completely forgot.
That's fair.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt
you're a Chris Paul guy.
I am. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I'm sorry.
So we both then have Cleveland taking on the 1 seed Miami Heat. I mean, obviously you have Miami winning it all. I also have Miami beating the Cavs. You have the Heat winning it all, which is fair. You called it at the beginning of the year. You're sticking with it. I respect it. Here's my thing. I think this Miami team reminds me of the bubble Heat. They really remind me of the bubble Heat.
I don't know, man. With a healthy Victor Oladipo, man.
They struggled late in the year. Like, they were great early. They've struggled late, and they've been trying to pull it back. And, like, I don't know. I don't know if this team makes it out of the second round. I'm going to be real.
But listen, in a game against the second-seeded Celtics, they won.
That's fair, yeah.
You know, in a game against the second-seeded Celtics just recently, they won.
Yeah.
You know, so, and again, I'm telling you, a healthy Victor Oladipo is such a huge...
Sure.
Because that takes away attention from Hero, and I hate to say it, Duncan Robinson. Okay? And then obviously Jimmy Butler is Jimmy Butler, and he always
need a hero.
I like Hero. I do like Tyler Hero.
I'm a fan.
I mean, I got Miami winning. So,
cool.
There you go. Miami winning against Cavs. It'll be like the LeBron James teams matchups with who doesn't have LeBron James.
Amazing. So then we have Philly and Toronto. Give me Philly.
Give me Toronto.
Wow, there he is. There's the upset alert. There's the upset alert.
Toronto, baby.
Gino Conti's back in the building, baby.
I am.
He's sticking with his teams. I was waiting for it.
I am.
Because I knew we were both going to agree on Minnesota. I looked at that one and said, disagree.
Yeah.
Will and Gino disagree on that one.
Give me Toronto.
Fred
Van Vliet's gonna lock up James Harden.
Oh, come on.
Okay, OG Anunoby is gonna lock up Joel Embiid.
OG Anunoby.
We can't recreate that.
Tyrese Halliburton will never be created.
No, Matisse Thybulle.
Oh, Matisse Thybulle. Sorry.
Yeah, no, but
Matisse
seriously.
Thybulle.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, I mean, Listen, I love Joel Embiid, and I do actually really do like him. I don't mean to be like, oh, I love him, but I've liked Joel Embiid from the start.
Yep.
I think they get shut out.
You think it's a sweep?
It's a
Conti!
Toronto's gonna sweep
Oh,
Philly.
Gino.
Just like Philly was
I
gonna,
disagree with
just like
you.
Philly's gonna sweep Brooklyn
Oh,
last
come
season.
on. Come on.
There we go.
All right, well, there he is.
Shut your mouth, D'Lo.
I agree. D'Lo just texted me, Gino, stop smoking crack cocaine. I agree.
Toronto's sweeping Philly, baby.
I disagree. I think Joel Embiid is a very not probably. I take that back. He's an MVP candidate, and he's played very, very well. And I think that they make it out of this series. I don't really think that Toronto's built to win right now. They have young guys. Who's the Scotty Barnes?
Scotty Barnes.
And they have Fred
Scotty
VanVleet.
Barnes is gonna have a coming out party.
Oh, come on.
He is.
Gino,
He's gonna give James Harden lots of trouble.
You wanted Jalen Suggs. Don't
I
pretend
did.
like you didn't.
Hey, I did, and I admitted it, and I was wrong. But now that we have Barnes, I am happy we have Barnes.
All right, we have Toronto. There's no me even explaining myself. You're not gonna change your mind. I know that.
Of course I'm not. I don't give a
fair.
shit if they get swept. I will take that to
You
my
will
grave.
die on this hill. All right. So we'll just move on. Then we got Milwaukee and we have Chicago.
What a hell of a matchup.
It's gonna
this
be
is
good. It's gonna be good. Unfortunately, Lonzo Ball's done for the year. They don't really have a good guard. Kobe White's not really the answer. So I'm gonna take Milwaukee in this one. Giannis. I mean, it's Giannis. This team is pretty much the same last year. Give me a gentleman's sweep. I think maybe Zach LaVine and DeMar go off for maybe a game, possibly two. I'm not leaving that out of the realm.
I say Milwaukee in 6.
Okay, yeah, that's
I
fair.
give Milwaukee in 6.
That's
in my opinion.
That's fair.
So I mean that's that. I mean, what we got? Brooklyn and then Celtics next. Yeah.
Here we go.
You saved the best for last.
Here we go.
There you go.
Brooklyn and the Celtics. I am going to love to see Kyrie Irving come back into the Garden and get booed for an entire competitive playoff series. Not like when we were the 7th seed and we were playing Brooklyn last year.
Yep.
No. This year it's balls in our court, right? Kyrie Irving, the first game of this series, is going to have to walk in to the Garden in the first 2 games and he's going to get booed and the Celtics are going to win in 6. And this is going to be the ultimate revenge and the ultimate middle finger to Kyrie Irving for leaving us. Like I said, he's one of the most talented basketball players ever. But I was at the preseason thing where he said he was going to re-sign, and it leaves a bad taste in my mouth whenever I think about it.
I agree.
So I'm going to try and get tickets to a playoff game because I deserve it.
You.
I deserve it.
I'll go with you.
Hey, maybe it'll be a Conti Nich vlog. We'll bring a camera.
Dude, honestly, I don't give a shit. We can do whatever.
Could be
as
the
long
move.
as we get to boo Kyrie. But anyway,
Sure.
so I have Boston winning. Okay, this is probably the worst matchup that we could have drawn to not have Rob Williamson.
Yeah, I will say
an explosive offensive team who, just when they're hot, it's like close to unlike anything we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Okay, let's be real. Let's call a spade there.
Sure.
Okay.
Aside from me being a homer, I do think that in basketball terms and not just being who's gonna win? The Celtics.
Yeah.
Because that's not another reason why. So
Yeah.
I genuinely think that the Celtics and their defense shuts down this Brooklyn offense. I think Ime is gonna draw up a really good game plan for Kevin Durant. Marcus Smart is going to be the defensive player of the year. That's not controversial. He's number 1 in odds right now.
Oh, I'm not arguing that.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
So I think that they draw up a really good plan, and Kyrie is going to be rattled. In my opinion, that's an actual thing. But
Still, let's see how they perform in the playoffs.
sure,
That's my take. Okay, I mean, listen, Kevin Durant, albeit it was with Golden State, is a multi-time champion.
Yep.
Okay, and
Respect to Kevin Durant.
And
He's a great player.
Kyrie Irving is a champion.
Yes.
Okay, so we are going up against championship contested teams.
Absolutely.
We are going up against championship level teams here. Okay, and we have the highest seed. Okay, we have been on a white hot streak. There's no reason we should lose. But, well, I shouldn't even say that. We're in for the fight of our lives. I'm serious.
Brooklyn is the scariest 8 seed maybe ever.
Yeah.
Maybe ever.
We are in for the
Brooklyn
fight of our
could
lives.
make the finals.
Yeah, as an 8 seed.
In theory, they could. That would be insane. But, yeah, I mean, that pretty much does it for me.
Just again, it sucks to not have Rob Williams when you face a team like this.
That's true.
It sucks.
It does suck. But thank you everyone to listening. We gotta shoot over to Marshfield because I got a little rugby game to watch.
Yes, sir.
So
I like this new format. Did you like it?
I loved it. Yeah,
Okay,
this was
good.
great. Hitting multiple topics is good. We love to do that. Shout out to the Marshfield rugby team, Brady Nicholson, Luke McAlpine, Jay Amaral. All those guys are going to kill it tonight versus
Brady's
St.
mid.
John's Prep.
Brady's mid.
Brady's
Want to know
mid.
who isn't mid?
John Bro! Peace, ladies and gentlemen.